Michiganders can be a superstitious bunch. We find all sorts of reasons to explain the world around us, sometimes pulling from science, sometimes tradition, and sometimes from our imaginations. What happens when we can't readily explain our experiences? And what happens when a ghost story gets out of hand? Do these legends stem entirely from fantasy, or are people seeing things no one can truly explain?
I'm Krista K. Coburn.
And I'm Kay Gray.
Welcome to Haunted Mitten. The Henry Ford and Greenfield Village are probably some of the main reasons people visit Dearborn, Michigan. I go for Dearborn's absolutely incredible food scene, to each their own. Dedicated in 1929, the 200-acre outdoor living history museum Greenfield Village, along with what was then known as the Edison Institute of Technology, now the Henry Ford, did not open to the public until 1933. Then President Herbert Hoover dedicated the Edison Institute to Henry Ford's longtime friend Thomas Edison on October 21st, 1929, which just so happened to be the 50th anniversary of Edison's first successful incandescent light bulb. Shout out to Sir Joseph Swan, without whose independent discoveries Edison likely wouldn't have succeeded in said bulb.
Hey, take that, Edison.
Yeah.
Any chance we get to shoot you down?
Yeah, and it's not Tesla this time. Sir
No,
Joseph Swan.
it's someone completely different.
What a name, too. Sir Joseph Swan. I love it.
I know, that's great. On April 5th, 1931, the New York Times published a 3-page article with the headline, I'm going to take a deep breath before this, Ford builds a unique museum. In Dearborn, he is recreating American civilization from tools and utensils it used, and in his school, 1,000 technical students will carry on all manner of old native crafts. Yeah, that's the entire headline, not the subheading.
Nope. That's the headline. And then a 3-page article ensues.
Times were different then. We had more time. We had more time to read.
Quoting from the article, quote, basically, it will be an engineer's vision of history. It is a view in which the Missouri Compromise, the Mexican War, the firing on Sumter, those 1,000 events that make up the whole web and woof of our story, is as the schoolboy learns it, are noticed, if at all, only as incidental interruptions of the main advance of national life, the progress in general conditions of living, in invention and efficiency, in comfort and taste. That was all one sentence, friends. It is a view, moreover, in which a pewter bowl from the humblest kitchen in the colonies would be of equal interest with one from that of George Washington. End quote.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all very romantic, but some of that wording does give me pause.
Yeah.
Let's say 100 years later. Ignore all that conquest and murder stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how progressive we are. Look at this pretty bowl.
Look at all of our sweet inventions and stuff. Pay no attention to the atrocities and honestly just the entire history of how we got to this pretty bowl.
Yep.
Look at the bowl. Isn't it nice?
Yeah. Not to put down Greenfield Village. Like I've been there several times and I do like it. I'm surrounded by living history. I love it. I just don't trust rich industrialists like Henry Ford or their visions. And you might not either by the end of this two-part episode, because oh boy.
What? In this climate?
Yeah. The things we discovered while looking
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Which is my favorite part about making this podcast is there's a lot of times where we just go, hey, look at this weird shit I discovered.
Oh my god, there was so much. Like once you start, it just keeps going. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Which is why this will be a 2-part episode. Spoiler.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
As you may have guessed from the name Institute of Technology, the complex served as a school. Per the New York Times, while performing for visitors, 1,000 students learned traditional crafts at Greenfield Village, from candle making to millwork to factory machine tool operation. And today, it still serves as a school. The Henry Ford Academy is a public school located within the Henry Ford Museum. Quoting from the school's website, quote, inspired by Henry Ford's learning by doing philosophy, Henry Ford Academy has been at the forefront of innovative teaching and active learning for over 25 years. Each day, students experience and learn from historical artifacts, exhibits, and programs found nowhere else in the world. From custom designed courses to just being here, every day is a field trip at HFA. End quote.
My siblings-in-law both attended HFA. I don't think either of them makes their own candles.
What?
I could be wrong. I
What?
I did not ask them how they felt about being students there, but I mean, it's high school's high school, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
it's unique. Yeah.
yeah. It is, that is yeah. I'm
Yeah.
yeah. Unique is a good word for that.
Yeah. The point of the institute was to teach people practical skills. But the village and museum served another purpose, that of preservation. And Ford chose to preserve some unique items.
Hmm.
There's the camp bed that George Washington carried with him during the American Revolutionary War, the oldest surviving American car,
Yeah.
the bus where Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, thus setting off the Montgomery bus boycott, the Logan County, Illinois courthouse where President Abraham Lincoln practiced law, as well as the chair that Lincoln was assassinated in,
Yep.
the limo that President JFK was assassinated in,
Yep.
the alleged last breath of Thomas Edison in a sealed tube.
Yeah.
They were besties, after all. You know, did this for his bro. The home of Noah Webster, that was moved from its original location in Connecticut. The Wright brothers' home and bicycle shop, that was moved from Dayton, Ohio. The family farmhouse of Harvey S. Firestone of Firestone Tire fame, moved from Columbiana, Ohio. And so much more. So much more. Like, you could spend more than a day exploring everything both the museum and village have to offer. Like, you could spend one day in one day in the other, easy.
Oh yeah. And yes, Krista said the homes of. They
Oh
moved
yeah,
entire houses
entire houses,
to Dearborn,
entire
Michigan.
buildings.
Yes. The original car is cool though because it's like kind of deconstructed and it looks really awesome.
Yeah, you can see the evolution of like a wagon to a car. It's
Yeah.
pretty neat.
And looking at the car JFK was assassinated in is kind of weird, but also you're like, huh, nice.
It's
Like
also been
it's just
modified. I feel like
yes.
that's what we're saying because it used to be an open top, and it's very much not an open top anymore.
No, because they
They
continued
closed that
using the
thing in.
car.
Yeah, they kept using it.
They're like, yeah, but it's a mighty fine car.
It's a perfectly good car. The car did nothing wrong. Yeah,
Okay.
there's some wacky stuff that Ford collected.
Oh yeah. Along with all of those historical artifacts, both mentioned and not mentioned, come countless stories of ghosts. For instance, the aforementioned houses of people, entire houses of people, and a car and a chair that people were assassinated in.
Yeah,
That's gonna bring some weirdo energy.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the last breath of Edison.
And the last breath.
I don't remember if I wrote this in here. I don't think I did, but the friend of Greg's, I think they told me this after I wrote this. Used to work in the Edison building,
Yeah.
and weird stuff used to happen. They blamed Edison. I guess he liked the ladies and would particularly harass the female employees there.
I am unsurprised.
Yep. And that happens around, I think it's like where his last breath is and hits his laboratory and stuff. So just a little anecdote that I learned
Hmm.
recently from a friend of my husband's.
Interesting.
Yeah, weird.
Well, on that note, let's talk about the Noah Webster house. For those who don't know, Noah Webster, who lived from 1758 to 1843, was the word and spelling enthusiast responsible for the American spelling book, not the speaking book, like I'm having trouble with. I need to read that. Published in 1783, and the 2-volume American Dictionary of the English Language, first published in 1828, among other things.
Yeah.
Quoting from Britannica, quote, Webster was instrumental in giving American English a dignity and vitality of its own. Both his speller and dictionary reflected his principle that spelling, grammar, and usage should be based upon the living spoken language rather than on artificial rules. He also made useful contributions as a teacher, grammarian, journalist, essayist, lecturer, and lobbyist. End quote.
So, in short, he's the reason we spell things differently in the US. It's not the rest of the world, it's us. We're the problem. The Webster House is the Webster House that is located at Greenfield Village is the one that Noah lived in with his wife Rebecca, in New Haven, Connecticut. He lived in different houses.
It happens.
This happens to be the one they grabbed. Um,
This is the one. It was available at the time they wanted it. Whatever.
yeah. Webster's kind of a weird guy if you're into like weird people of history that made significant changes to the world. Webster's one of them. Originally constructed in 1823, it is in this house that he wrote his famous dictionary. So I guess that's why the rest of his houses can rot.
Right.
It's 2 stories, painted white, and has 2 modest columns flanking the front door. During the Great Depression, the house, which was owned by Yale University at the time, was targeted for demolition in order to save the school money. Yeah. Okay.
This is just a thing that all universities do. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a thing. The people trying to save the house wrote to Edsel Ford, Henry's son, suggesting that it would be a perfect addition to the village. The house was dismantled and moved to Dearborn in 1936. This is almost 100 years ago. And the house was from the early 1800s.
Right.
At first, some of its Victorian era additions were kept, but over the years they've been stripped away to make the house as it was when the Websters lived there. Again, early 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
At Yale, the home had served as a dormitory for a time, and at Greenfield Village, it served for a little over a decade as a live-in home economics laboratory.
What?
Yeah, before the even more historical renovation. So a lot of people in and out of this house since the Webster family lived there, and I
Wild.
don't believe they were the first ones to live there either.
Okay.
But yeah, it was constructed 1823. Lots of people lived there. It was a dormitory in like 2 different places.
That's wild.
So, yeah, what a interesting little history for this house. And it's been at the Henry Ford for nearly 100 years. It was nearly 100 years old. It was over 100 years old when it was moved there.
Right.
So yeah, it's like,
this guy's old.
Yep.
An article on Patch.com says, quote, former tour guides at Greenfield Village claim that Noah Webster's house is haunted. Reports include odd, unexplained noises, including crying and screaming, and ghostly apparitions, end quote. And according to Mimi Staver in her book Detroit Ghosts, a presence has been felt in the house as if someone is standing right behind you. Quote unquote, eerie feelings are felt. Lights flicker on and off, and footsteps are heard from the empty former bedroom of Rebecca and Noah's daughter. The blog Passion for the Past, which is a fantastic blog to peruse if you enjoy living history, includes the following story.
There were a few people from Firestone Farm going for a Sunday drive in one of the buggies with a very calm team of horses. Everything was going fine, and the team was doing great. When they turned down Maple Lane, the horses came to a complete stop and refused to go past the Noah Webster house. The farmer driving the buggy tried and finally got the horses to move. When they were right in front of the house, they spooked, bucked, and flew past the house and down Maple Lane. There's nothing around to spook them between the house and the road. And the same blog also includes this story.
Quote, it was a quiet fall evening at the end of the day, and a father and his 2 young children were looking through the house when he noticed the little ones were missing. The dad came downstairs and asked if the presenter had seen his kids because he couldn't find them. The presenter and the father both looked through the hallways and didn't see the children anywhere. They decided to look upstairs once again, and there, standing in the hallway, were the youngsters. The dad asked where they were, and the kids answered by stating they were in the bedroom talking to the man. There is a tall barrier and no other way into the bedroom, and of course, no other man was up there. End quote.
A note on the Paranormal Activity Network Investigation Center database, wow, what a name,
Right?
claims Quote, camera's batteries have suddenly drained while people are taking photos within the building. End quote.
Their acronym is panicked.
Nice. I do like that. I appreciate that.
Excellent. Good.
Beautiful. Love it. So backing up to the Firestone Farm mentioned in that lovely Sunday drive, Ghost Quest includes the claim that the farmhouse, which was, again, constructed in 1828 and moved from Columbiana, Ohio to Greenfield Village in 1983, is haunted by the spirit of a woman named Sally Firestone. Sally Ann Firestone was married to Peter Firestone and lived in the home from 1837 to 1885 when she died at the age of 76. She was Peter's second wife and raised the 3 children from his first marriage alongside the 6 she had with Peter.
Oh, God.
That's 9 kids.
Oh, my God.
Some of them did die young, but still, that's a lot of kids to raise.
That's a lot.
Yeah, she already went into it with 3 children and then had 6 more.
Yeah.
And if I'm judging correctly from her very brief obituary, although Sally died in the house of her son Benjamin, her funeral was held in this house, the one that is now at Greenfield Village.
Okay.
That may or may not mean anything, but there you go. Sally's apparition has been spotted, quote unquote, wandering the halls and rooms upstairs. Again, Passion for the Past includes this story.
Quote, I took to humming or talking to myself as I opened the Firestone farmhouse in the morning, but then I would hear something I didn't want to. Often there are thumps in that house. One particular event happened when the house was just about to open and I was tending downstairs while a couple other ladies were up in the attic on the 3rd floor. I heard a loud crash and I hurried to the stairs, thinking that they had tripped coming down. I called up to see if they were all right, and they called down to ask the same of me. We met at the stairs and realized that the thump had come from the 2nd floor. Whether this was to get our attention or as a warning, I can't be sure. I know that we refer to whatever it is as Sally, but there are times when the sounds, the weird shifts and things don't feel quite so welcoming, and I do believe that Sally would have been more welcoming. End quote.
She got 9 kids in that house. Rambunctious. Another story, courtesy of the same site, says that, quote, while I was in the Firestone barn walking through with camera in hand, always, to see the sheep, I felt, without warning, the hair on my arms and the back of my neck stand up straight. I quickly glanced around, but there was not another living soul there with me. The feeling didn't last more than a half minute before it dissipated, but it was there. End quote.
Oh, I want to see the sheep.
Yeah, I have seen the sheep. It's really fun. We should totally go.
I was like, yeah, ghosts. I want to go see the sheep, though.
Yeah.
You know how much we love Michigan-made Lynn B Designs 5 free vegan nail polish. Now we can all further pamper ourselves with scented cuticle oils, a quick absorbing and moisturizing blend of jojoba and grapeseed oils with vitamin E and perfume. Wrap yourself in the delicious aromas of chai spice, pistachio dream, fall vibes, or gummy bears if you're feeling sweet. Peruse all the new scents at linbdesigns.store. Once again, that is linbdesigns.store. We love you. I own so many of your nail polishes. Thank you. Mimi Staver mentions a few places in the village that are active in her book, Detroit Ghosts. Quick reminder that the books that we mention are listed at bookshop.org/shop/hauntedmitten, and any purchases made support the podcast. We're just saying.
Just saying, in case you were curious.
We got some cool books up there, okay?
Yeah.
It's
a long list. By now, it's a very long list.
Yeah, it is. At Cotswold College. No.
It's a tongue twister.
Cotswold Cottage.
Yeah.
Okay. Now a restaurant. Is that where our friend worked?
No.
Okay. I can't remember.
She was at the tavern.
Oh, yeah, she was at the tavern. At the cottage, a male presence is felt. He moves items around that employees have set up. If they tell him to knock it off, the activity will temporarily stop. And it would seem that the Daggett farm is incredibly active with all kinds of phenomena.
Yeah, here we go. Daggett.
Uh-oh.
This one's got a lot of stories too, man.
Uh-oh.
The Daggett salt box style house was originally built in northeastern Connecticut in the 1760s. Samuel Daggett was a farmer, house builder, furniture maker. He didn't do amazing things like write a dictionary or change the English language. Disembodied footsteps have been heard. Plus, a man in period appropriate clothing was once seen by 2 employees walking outside. He was not in clothing worn by village employees, however, because they do dress in period appropriate clothing as well. He ignored the pair and vanished before their eyes. On another occasion, a village visitor felt that the air around the farm was heavy, and all of her pictures on the farm came out smeared, whatever that means, while the rest of her pictures of the village were clear and beautiful. So it wasn't her camera, and probably not the film. Passion for the past includes this story from a worker at the farm.
Quote, one of the ladies had to go upstairs to the second floor to get something. As she was coming down, she tripped on her long petticoat. She began falling down the steep stairs, but suddenly felt someone catch her and pull her back up. She was convinced it was Samuel Daggett, end quote.
The apparition of a man was allegedly captured in a photograph standing behind a docent as she spun flax. It is believed this was a hired hand rather than Daggett himself, though I'm honestly not sure why. Also not sure why she thought it was Daggett that caught her. That just seems to be the general lore of the house, is that it's him and possibly this hired man. He might not have looked the same in the photograph. Like, we not clear.
Right.
Also attributed to this mysterious man are the sounds of footsteps that are heard walking, quote, into the parlor, to the window, and then to the door. He always remains in the parlor, end quote.
Okay. All right. I had to draw that in my head.
Yeah. So he never leaves.
Okay.
He enters, goes to the window, and then back to the door, and that's it. It just stays within the parlor.
I had to look up what a salt box house was because I had no idea.
They're very simple.
Yeah, and it's like if you took a house, like a regular house that you would just draw that has the triangle roof, but cut off one of the long edges of it. You just shaved off a piece. It's very strange. Very New England.
Yes. Yeah. This was very colonial style, 1760s. So it's one of the older houses.
Okay. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. It's very New England. Very New England.
Tools that presenters swore were put away and locked up were once found, quote, strewn all about, and the previously locked doors now open, end quote. Village presenters at the Daggett farm also reported feeling tugs on their clothing as if from a child trying to get their attention, taps on their shoulders, and hearing disembodied voices.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. How many locations have we looked at now? And there's so many more.
Yeah.
So perhaps a more recognizable name than Daggett is Wright, as in the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. Their family home, built in 1871 in Dayton, Ohio, so one of the newer buildings, was moved to Greenfield Village in the 1930s and restored to its 1903 glory. So it's also presenting as one of the newer properties.
Yeah.
According to Ghost Quest, quote, visitors at the Wright brothers family home have reported encountering the spirit of a woman believed to be Catherine Wright, the younger sister of Wilbur and Orville Wright, who passed away in 1929.
Oh.
So, right before they got the house, actually.
Yeah.
Henry Ford was on that. He was probably stalking that house.
God, he really was.
And once again...
He's weird, man.
Oh, God, yes. Passion for the Past reported this experience.
Quote, I can remember it like it was yesterday. It was in March of 1987. I wasn't born yet. Wow. At the Wright brothers' house. I was sitting in a chair on the stair landing where the stairs turned to go upstairs. It was a cold day and visitors were sporadic. I was reading a book studying for a public administration course test for a class at U of M Dearborn. The sound of hard-soled shoes walking across the floor. I looked up and expected to see someone as it was only right above me, 12 feet away. No one was there. I checked all the rooms up there and went back downstairs and moved the chair off the landing. I was spooked. 37 years later, and I still remember it well. Also, the door handle on the side porch door used to get loose and fall off. A psychic said it was Mrs. Wright, who supposedly would take the handle off to make the kids use the back door. That story could be true, but the footsteps story is one I won't forget. That's hilarious. Stop using this door.
Yep. I've been in this house a few times. I actually remember it, so I know exactly like where they're talking about.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I have yet to go to Greenfield Village. I've
I
only been to the Henry
know.
Ford.
That's wild. The first time I went was in like, I don't know, 5th grade or something.
Yeah.
Maybe before that. I went with my Girl Scout troop, and then I went with actually my 5th grade class. So the Girl Scout troop would have been before that. So I was pretty young the first time I went. And I've
Yeah.
been back as an adult as well for various things.
Right. Nope, I still have yet to go.
Yeah, for some reason the Wright house, like I remember it pretty well. The other houses, I remember
Sure.
the sheep. I remember the Daggett farm. I don't remember
Yeah.
the house, but I remember the farm. If you want to see pictures of these locations, Passion for the Past has a bunch of them posted. Definitely go check out that blog if you're interested in seeing the village, locations we've mentioned, or just have an interest in living history. He has several entries on Greenfield Village. Just happens to be the one that was talking about hauntings.
Sweet.
Um, but yeah, he's had his blog going for quite a while. They're pretty long posts, and they have tons of pictures.
Oh,
So
that's great.
it's really cool. It's a really fun blog to like. You can wander around it for hours.
Shout out Passion for the Past.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we come to a very recent and very sad story. Sorry for the abrupt mood shift. The horrific death of a Greenfield Village docent that occurred in 1988. Some of our listeners may indeed remember when this happened. We're going to read from the Detroit Free Press article that was published on August 22nd, 1988, entitled Greenfield Retools for Safety Employee Death Leads to Changes.
Quote: Facing a long wait for an airplane home to St. Louis, Ellen Romkema decided to pass the long, hot afternoon of June 27th at Henry Ford's world-famous outdoor museum, Greenfield Village. Through an observation window in Greenfield Village's Armington and Sims machine shop and foundry, Romkema and a friend watched an elderly village employee shining a brass oil guard on the 50 horsepower C.H. Brown & Co. stationary steam engine. The Brown engine turns belt supplying power to the shop's lathes, drill presses, and slotting machines. Quote, I pointed out, look at this little guy. I bet he's been here working with engines since they made them. End quote, Romkema recalls. Suddenly, the peaceful, almost hypnotic back and forth rhythm of the piston and the cycling of the crankshaft were gruesomely disrupted. Quote, he was polishing the brass guard with a loose rag, Romkema recalls. His rag got caught in the belt, and I saw his arm go in, and I said, oh, he's hurt. By the time I said he's hurt, it had decapitated him.
Oh my God.
End quote. The grisly accident brought Greenfield Village founder Henry Ford First's philosophy that the exhibits must authentically depict historical industrial methods into direct conflict with modern requirements for workplace safety. A month after the accident, a report by the State Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Agency, commonly known as MIOSHA, indicated that August Lassinen, 85, would not have been killed if Greenfield Village had obeyed elementary industrial safety rules.
No duh.
Full end quote of the article.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This was 1988.
Yeah.
So you were alive now. But yeah. His rag got stuck. He got pulled into the machine and it decapitated him. Like, I can't even picture this scene.
Oh my God.
Because Henry Ford he was so dead set on maintaining history exactly as it was.
Yeah, but we changed stuff for a reason.
Correct.
We changed all that for some very good reasons. Case in point, this one.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't believe it. In 1988, it took that long.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
If you don't have access to ProQuest Historical Newspapers archive, which you probably do courtesy of your local library. Go to your library. You've
Yep.
got it. You can read the entire article on the journalist Joel Thurtell's website, Joel on the Road. If you do choose to dive into the Free Press's archives, there are a number of articles that followed this story and the debate over whether modern safety standards ruined the authentic history maintained at Greenfield Village. Why was that a debate?
I read a few of the articles, and it was interesting to see that debate. It was. I don't think we would be having the same debate today. I think it would just be like, nope, absolutely not. Safety first. This is crazy. I also learned that we once appropriately gendered the word employee in American English with 2 E's, the current spelling, Employee. That was originally for women, and for men, they only used 1 E. It was very confusing until I realized what was happening. Thank you, High
Yeah.
School French, because the newspaper article refers to him as employee with only 1 E. Still
Really?
pronounced employee as far as I know, but I kept reading as employ,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, what? And so I actually had to look up what the heck was going on,
What is going
because
on?
I was like, well, I understand this is being gendered, but what? So I actually looked it up, and yeah, not that long ago,
No,
we
that wasn't.
we we
Well,
actually
no.
did maintain the gender of the word employee.
Right. That's
This is
weird.
this was 1988.
Yeah. That's weird.
So yeah, weird, fun little bizarre language thing I came across.
But also, I don't understand how this was a bit. Okay.
Nope, it was a debate.
All right.
Historic accuracy, authentic history.
Decapitated. I don't know how. I don't know how better to.
I know a man died a horrific death. Like, I feel like this is not up for debate, but
Right.
it
I
but
hope.
it was.
But it was.
Like, they went back and forth in the papers all the time. It
Oh
was
my
wild.
god.
It was wild.
Someone who appears to have worked at Greenfield Village posted on Reddit about the machine shop today, saying, "Bad vibes in that building." Yeah, I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this is less than 40
Okay.
years ago.
Oh my god. And as far as we know, that covers the strangeness that has been reported in the village. If you know anything more, tell us. I feel like even though that's really haunted, it should still be way more haunted than that.
For as much stuff is there,
Yeah.
yeah. Like the person who happened to mention, after I wrote this, like, oh yeah, Edison was a little handsy in his former laboratory. Like,
Freaking weird.
yeah, yeah. If anyone has any more experiences with Edison, for sure, I'd like
Yeah.
to hear about that. But yeah, this is just like some of the stories, and they're pretty detailed.
Yeah. Yeah, this isn't just like there are reports of footsteps. This is like, no, I was reading a book in the
Yeah,
building and
lots of
like had to
personal
go
stories.
upstairs to make sure I didn't miss the person upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, well that is it for the outdoor museum. But what about the Henry Ford? Surprise! It's a two-parter. You guessed that, and we said that.
Yep.
And next time things are gonna get weird. Because let me tell you,
Yep.
the people that had a hand in making this complex were strange.
Yep. And I think
And also
Daggett Farm, I think, makes an appearance again as well.
incredible. They were
Like,
also kind of bad people, so there's that. But
yeah, I'm reading some of the articles, because there were a number of articles that came out at the time in the Free Press and other newspapers
yeah,
about what Ford was getting up to, because it was unusual. It's still kind of unusual today.
that's
We
weird.
we do have other living history museums, but not too many people are dismantling houses in Connecticut and transporting them across the country to Michigan.
Yeah,
Like, that's not as common.
right.
Maybe you have, you collect the local houses and farmhouses and put them in a park. Like Portage has done, Northville has done,
Yeah.
but
But
not
yeah, you don't just
pulling
like
from across the country.
you don't normally just pick and choose what you want from across the vast expanse that is America.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's about to get weird. And I'm so
Yep.
excited for it.
Yeah, a lot of Ford's quotes at the time, and they might make a little more sense in some of the context we'll give it next time.
And
But,
do I have some weird shit to tell you guys about.
yep. And there are other weird stories that don't even have to do with Ford. So yeah, it's a weird place with like a capital W.
God, I can't wait. All right.
Oh yeah.
But that's it for this one.
Yep. That's it for the Weird Village hauntings. Don't forget, Haunted Mitten is on Patreon. $1 a month gets you access to the private Haunted Mitten Discord server, as well as exclusive Patreon content, including a growing collection of live presentations, which has
Yeah, dude.
been great for us. Also, check us out at hauntedmitten.com, which includes a link to merch store, bookshop, list of upcoming events, which will be starting again in a few months.
Yep.
There aren't a lot right now because we just kind of finished up our event season in November.
People
But
don't really think of January and February as spooky season, so
not really. Not so much.
we don't really do much.
This is like what Tom called it, like hibernation.
Yeah, this
it's
is
our
post-con hibernation.
Yep, it's our hibernation season. But there will be plenty of events next year.
Yeah.
We have a few lined up already.
Oh yeah.
So check us out
So
there.
exciting. Keep up with us on the Facebooks, the Instagrams, Blue Sky, and Tumblr at Haunted Mitten. If you have a spooky story about this or about just anything,
Yeah.
honestly, anything.
Yeah, we want to hear it.
Or just want to reach out, please email us at contacthauntedmitten@gmail.com. That includes, and this is going to give you a hint to our year, if you have any Ann Arbor haunted stories, pass them. Pass them to us. We need them.
Please let us know.
We need them. And we are still going to plug our book, Ipsy Ghosts and Legends, because it was our first. Ipsy's great. And you should read it.
Yeah.
You just should. It's available at This, That, and the Odder Things in Ipsy's Depot Town, as well as Schuler's Bookstore and Barnes & Noble Bookstore in Ann Arbor. And then you can just order it. It's available however you get books.
Yeah. BookSuite should have it, I think, still. I haven't checked in with them.
I haven't checked in a while.
Yeah, since November. But yeah, they may have it too on the north side of Ann Arbor. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's available.
Yep.
We are working on getting into more places, but you may have to special order it, like we said, from your local bookstore. I also created a handy dandy link if you want to look online. books2read.com. It's books number 2 read.com/Ipsy Ghosts. Ipsy spelled YPSI, just in case you didn't know.
Oh yeah, it's weird. It's Greek.
Yep.
I know that sounds weird. Don't worry about it. If you read the book, you find out why.
It's true. You get to learn all about it.
And as always, happy haunting.